In our last two episodes, we built diffusion models. We learned a score function, defined a stochastic differential equation, and solved it backward in time. It works brilliantly. But mathematically, there is an aesthetic problem. The paths are curved. The probability flow ODE traces elaborate winding arcs through high-dimensional space. To solve a curved path accurately, your solver needs to take many tiny steps, often 500 to 1,000. This is why diffusion is slow. But what if we could force the model to take a straight line? A straight line from noise to data is the shortest path. Theoretically, it takes one step. In practice, just a handful. This is flow matching, replacing curved diffusion dynamics with a learned velocity field that drives straight-line transport.
To understand flow matching, we have to revisit continuous normalizing flows, or CNFs. A CNF defines a velocity field, v sub t of x. Think of this as a fluid flow that changes over time. We define an ordinary differential equation, dx over dt equals v sub t. If we start with noise, x0, and integrate this ODE over time from 0 to 1, we get a transformed sample, x1. Ideally, x1 looks like our data. The math gives us an exact way to train this using maximum likelihood. However, the change in log density depends on the integral of the divergence of the velocity field. Computing that divergence integral requires calculating the trace of the Jacobian. This scales terribly with dimensionality. We need a way to train this velocity field without simulating the ODE or computing that expensive divergence.
Lippmann et al. Proposed the solution in 2023. Instead of maximizing likelihood via expensive integrals, let's just use regression. If we knew the ideal velocity field u sub t that moves mass correctly from noise to data, we could just train a neural network to copy it. The loss function is incredibly simple. The expected square difference between our network's prediction and the target velocity. This is just L2 loss. No simulations, no divergence integrals, just predict the vector. But this creates an immediate problem. We don't know the target velocity u sub t for the entire data distribution. Just like in score matching, the marginal vector field is unknown and intractable.
Here is the breakthrough, and it mirrors the denoising trick from diffusion. We can't define the velocity for the whole distribution at once, but we can define it for a single data point. Imagine we have one specific noise sample, x0, and one specific image, x1. We want to move from x0 to x1. The simplest path is a straight line. We can define a conditional probability path that is just a Gaussian centered on the line between them. This is conditional flow matching. We decompose the impossible global problem into millions of trivial linear problems. If we minimize the loss for these individual linear paths, the math guarantees that the global velocity field will correctly transport the full noise distribution to the full data distribution.
Let's look at the math for that single line. We define the position x sub t as a linear interpolation, 1 minus t times x0 plus t times x1. At time 0, we're at noise. At time 1, we're at data. Now, what is the velocity? Velocity is just the time derivative of position. Take the derivative of x sub t with respect to t, and the result is simply x1 minus x0. That's it. The target velocity for our network is just the vector pointing from start to finish. It's constant in time. The network just needs to learn, given where I am and what time it is, which direction points to the data. The loss function becomes the square difference between the network output and x1 minus x0. Why do we care so much about straight lines? It comes down to inference speed. When you generate an image, you are solving an ODE numerically. If the underlying vector field forces you along a curved path, your ODE solver, say Euler or Runge-Kutta, must take tiny steps to avoid flying off the curve. This is why diffusion models often need 50 to 1,000 function evaluations. But if the vector field is learned to be straight, the solver can take massive strides. You can jump from T0 to T1 in a single step, or maybe just a few to correct for small errors. In practice, flow matching reduces the number of steps from hundreds down to the 5 to 50 range. That is a 10x to 100x speedup in generation time.
There is a subtlety we glossed over. How do we pair the noise and the data? In basic flow matching, we pair them randomly. This causes a problem. Paths cross. Imagine x0 moves to x1, and nearby y0 moves to a distant y1. Their paths intersect. Since an ODE cannot have two velocities at the same point, the learned field becomes an average, and the resulting trajectories curve to accommodate the conflict. We can fix this with optimal transport or rectified flows. Instead of random pairing, we align noise and data to minimize total travel distance. Or we use rectified flow. We train a model, generate data with it to see where noise actually wants to go, and then retrain on those new straightened pairs. This reflow procedure unwinds the crossed paths, making them nearly perfectly linear.
This leads us to a unified view called Stochastic Interpolants. Albergo and Vanden-Eijnden showed that we can define a general process. X sub t equals alpha t times x0 plus beta t times x1. The coefficients alpha and beta are just schedules. If we choose alpha as 1 minus t and beta as t, we get flow matching, straight lines. But if we choose square roots or trigonometric schedules, we recover the exact behavior of diffusion models like DDPM. This reveals that diffusion and flow matching aren't different species. They are just different settings on the same control panel. We prefer flow matching's linear schedule simply because it yields the straightest paths and easiest ODEs to solve. Because of this efficiency, flow matching has rapidly taken over state-of-the-art generative modeling. Stable Diffusion 3 uses rectified flow matching to improve image quality while reducing steps. The Flux model is built entirely on this architecture. Even OpenAI's Sora uses flow matching on video patches. The training recipe is surprisingly simple, almost identical to diffusion. Sample noise and data, pick a time t, interpolate them linearly, and train your network to predict the difference, x1 minus x0. It uses the same UNet or transformer backbones we know, just aiming at a straighter target.
Let's zoom out. Over these 3 episodes, we've built a complete toolbox for generative modeling. Episode 1 gave us the continuous time framework of SDEs and ODEs. Episode 2 gave us score matching, learning the gradient of the data density. And now, Episode 3 gives us flow matching, learning the direct transport velocity. These are two sides of the same coin. The score function and the velocity field are mathematically linked. We have moved from denoising to optimal transport. In the next episode, we will take these engines and give them a steering wheel, exploring conditioning, classifier-free guidance, and text-to-image control.